It's time to take a closer look on green tech solutions. Reduce, reuse, and recycle is a well-known mantra. There is a crucial need for an upcycling loop to recycle and reuse lithium cells. Gouache is a startup with an innovative eco-design battery technology that facilitates access to the recycling and reuse loop for battery manufacturers. Please welcome, therefore, the founder of Gouache, Alexandre Valette.
Hello. Hello everybody, I'm Alexandre Valette, I'm CEO of Gouache, and I'm here to convince you to integrate eco-design in your batteries. First, what is eco-design? We have to compare it with traditional ways of battery manufacturing. So most of the batteries you will see around here, especially in e-bike industry, are made out of spot-welded cells. So if we play the video, if you open one typical battery packs, what you will see internally is a BMS. So this is the electronic part that you see. Lots of wires going around the batteries and the cells that are spot welded together. And if you wanted to make any kind of reparation or even dismantle the batteries in order to salvage the cells, it's quite difficult because of the welding, and it will also leave some spot welding on the cells. So it makes the process impossible to do. So you have some garages that do spot welding and stuff like that. We think it's very cumbersome, this design, and it's not meant to be either repaired or recycled properly. And why we say that is that because we've made a big study on dead batteries. So we've taken about 50,000 batteries, 15,000 batteries, sorry, from different people using them, especially free-floating companies, because they have a lot of dead batteries that are not working anymore. And those dead batteries should be going to black mass. So black mass is when you crush the battery in order to take away every component, and after you try to refine it and take away the cobalt and everything. But if you, before going to black mass, if you test individually each cell, this is the kind of repartition you get from the state of health of each cell. What we see is that you can salvage about 70% minimum, and some batches are about more than 90%. And the capacity of the cells that you get from here is still very good. So basically, at the moment, when you have a classical battery, you just throw away very good cells. So eco-design is something that should be put into the design itself so that you can salvage those cells. And it refers to a design that makes it fast and safe to remove the cells from the batteries and other things, including the BMS. So the BMS is the electronic board that you have inside all the batteries. So if you can salvage the BMS, if you can salvage the cells, that's great. And for this, you need no spot welding. You need to have not too much wires that are welded. You don't have to use potting or any glue. That's the first step. The second step is that you have to ensure that those cells are properly preserved during the first life. So they should be protected from mechanical shocks. They should also not be used in bad conditions, especially in temperature condition. And for this, you can follow this with a sort of little data chips that will record the usage of the cells to see if they are well used during their first life. So this is the ingredients of the eco-design. And for example, for the first one, this is the kind of disassembly you can achieve on this kind of battery. So this is a Gouache battery, for example, and you can remove the different parts very easily without any tooling except a screwdriver. And then you have perfect cells without the spot welding. And this takes like less than 1 minute. And with this, it makes sense to take away the cells, and then you can test them back. And what we do is that we remanufacture other battery packs, especially for what we call ESS, which is electric storage system. Sorry, and but we found a second life for cell. It's also very convenient for the assembly part also, because what you see is that instead of having a big factory where you put a lot of equipment to spot weld the cells, here you can really assemble the cells in small places by hand. So we have some protocols and some testing figures, some testing equipment, but it's quite easy to delocalize the assembly, disassembly process of battery packs. So this is what we do. How it works is that we make it painless to integrate it because we work with traditional battery manufacturers, because we are a small company and big actors won't rely on us for their supply chain. So what we do is that we license our technology for like 1 cent per watt hour, which makes roughly about $5 for an e-bike battery. And we trained a big battery manufacturer to integrate those design guidelines into the battery packs. So this way it doesn't change anything for the brand. And what it's good is that the 1 cent that we take for the design, you can have it back because it's roughly the price you would pay for the recycling. Because when you put the battery on the market, you have to make sure that it's recycled properly, and so you have to pay an eco tax. Roughly, it's a kind of break-even deal, but in terms of sustainability, it has nothing to do because it divides around by a factor of 2 the carbon footprint of the battery itself. So it's very interesting for the planet. And in terms of cash flow, it's quite equivalent to use an Ecodesign battery and a traditional battery. And this is becoming also mandatory. The new regulation on batteries has been voted last week. And for light means of transportation, you have to dig a lot inside the paper, but for light means of transportation, you need to have a design that ensures that you can remove cells individually, which is basically what I just showed you. So the industry will shift, I think, and this is a good solution as it has been tested. It's already live on the streets. We have a few thousand batteries that have been running for about a few years now. We have, for 1 year, this batch, sorry. We have passed all the certification. We have the lab tests about vibration, shocks, and everything. So it's a cheap technology enabling this removability of each cells, and it really makes sense to use it now. So it will be becoming mandatory by 2027, and also in this new regulation of battery, there is another article that pushes battery and bikes and everybody manufacturer to integrate refurbished materials in their products. So most of people think about the plastic parts and easy recycled parts, but we think that with this kind of approach, we could start a kind of circular economy, because you could remove the cells, send them back for testing and matching, and remanufacture packs. We've been testing this at scale. So we have 800 batteries that were remanufactured and that are used in everyday life on a e-bike fleet. So the process works. We are now starting to make it at a bigger scale. And for us, how do we work? We integrate the Ecodesign with your manufacturer, and after, instead of you paying the eco tax to some kind of logistic partner that will send the battery for black mass crushing, what we do is that we take the eco tax instead of the recycler, and we do this work of disassembly, testing the cells, and put it back into ESS application. ESS meaning stationary storage application. So we are working with various battery manufacturers, 2 at the moment, in discussion with others in Asia, in Europe, and everything. If you're interested, reach to me. It's quite a simple process where we give you a documentation to show you what tests we did, what are the performance of this kind of packs, and after we help you integrate it. And we won the Taipei cycle show last year, so we are starting to have some visibility on this, and I hope it will move forward, because I think it's a big difference for the planet. Thanks for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Alexandre Valette.
should I sit?
For introducing us your new product. I have one question left.
Sure.
What is the innovative thing about your product? What is it that makes it so innovative?
The innovation is both on the tech, because it's quite difficult. Everybody is speaking about this for about many years, and being able to make something which is safe, that holds the vibration, holds the shock, doesn't disconnect, but is still cheap to manufacture, was quite difficult to find. So that's one part of the innovation, which is patented and protected and works well in everyday life. But after, you have the innovation is also, and this is the harder part, is also in changing the way people are using the battery normally, because it's very difficult to change the process of, you buy a battery from a manufacturer, you integrate it in your design, and then you have, a complete ecosystem which is already here. And changing the way it works to make it circular is quite a difficult process.
And you had an idea for that, like a solution.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alexandre Valette.